challenging experience you faced since you became a dentist?
That is having to deal with older patients, and they're trying to say that I am just a young dentist, and trying to prove myself what my worth is. Exactly, I think is the one of the most challenging experience for me, I think. And not that, and I always tell them just because I'm young does not make me incompetent. And at the same time, another challenging experience is doing my postgraduate away from my home country, and I had to do it in the States. So I guess it's one of the chapter.
Why become a dentist?
It's all because of my parents. They wanted me to become a doctor, but I don't know exactly what specific doctor, and I ended up being a dentist because my aunt happens to be a dentist who happens to be Zach's mom, so it kind of gave me that idea. But I had a rough road at that time with making a decision whether or not I should pursue it. I was leaning towards something more creative, which is like becoming a graphic artist or something. And then when my parents told me they ain't supporting that, so I was like, okay, let's do dentistry then.
Doctor, could you tell us what school you graduated from and why you chose dentistry?
I graduated from University of the East, and if you happen to ask what's my batch, I was 2013. And why choose dentistry? I guess because I am a little bit of an artsy person, and again, it was a combination of decision. My parents wanted me to become a doctor, but I specifically don't know what course, so I just ended up dentistry. And at that time, by the way, I was choosing whether I should go to CEU or UE. It just so happened UE was closer from the LRT station. That's why I ended up going to UE.
How would you describe working in the dental field?
Working in the dental field, it has been a challenging but a satisfying work. You provide that, how do I call this, that confidence to the patient at the end of every work that you do on them. It's different on when you see those patients and they tell you, wow, you made me look way different from before. So those are one of the satisfying factors that makes this work, I guess, one of the greatest jobs on earth, I guess.
And was there a lot of difference between your life as a student dentist and as a professional dentist?
Being working in clinics in school and here in the office, I guess as a student dentist, I guess we're so boxed up with our requirements. So we're just looking for specific cases. We are the ones who look for the cases, and I guess the appreciation level is I guess it's just par as compared to the professional side. So cases are way different. You have different patients. Expectations is way different. You always have to present yourself professionally with so much quality. In school, you have to go by the book. Although the work itself, it's almost and completely the same. But in terms of working time, it's longer in the school clinic as compared to the professional clinic. And aside from that, there are way more varied cases in the professional side. But I guess that's what I can think of.
Was there an incident during your practice that you'd never forget?
So incident in terms of work, I can never forget the first time I started doing my implant practice, and then next one, having to deal with a lot of patients, having so much expectations, doing surgeries, and them not paying. Those were some of the incidents that
Do you advise newly graduate dentists to work in clinics of their own without supervision from experts?
In my opinion, don't. You should work with doctors who have way more experience so that you get a lot of tips from them. Me working in the States and having to work with a lot of doctors gave me a lot of insights about different fields, and that will, I guess, push you to elevate your practice more. If you are very confident in working by yourself, it's fine, it's absolutely fine. However, I would still say work with an expert dentist or another dentist.
Was there ever a time where you wanted to give up? How did you manage to keep on going?
Was there ever a time? Was it the answer during the dentistry program when I was still a student? Oh my gosh, every one of you will get to feel that on your fourth year because we have this requirement before we graduate, which is pre-boards. So we have to do the things that we do in the board exams, and I failed on some parts. Yeah, but I had to repeat that pre-boards before we could. So those were the times that I felt like, wow, I felt like dentistry is not for me. But we had no choice. We had to do it.
How did you prepare for the board exam?
So in terms of theoretical and practical. So for the theoretical, we had to study really hard, and 2 weeks before the exam, we had to read 1,000 questions a day. Yes, that's how we prepared. And for the practicals, starting the day that we learned that we passed the theoretical, we kept practicing every single day till the practicals, till the practical exam. So that's how it goes.
Can you give some advice to us dental practitioners?
To all the dental practitioners, never stop earning knowledge. Always go for continuing education. It doesn't matter whether you're in the practice for more than 10 years or 20 years time. I always have to say continuing education will always provide you a better quality treatment on the patient, and that has always been our responsibility. If I'm not mistaken.
What is the usual treatment that patients come to you for?
Always periodontics and implants.
How do you provide instructions to patients on dental hygiene?
On dental hygiene, always at the end of our treatment, I always have to remind them, keep on brushing and keep on flossing, and I never forget to teach them how to properly floss their teeth.
What do you feel is the most important quality of being a good dentist?
Always being professional in whatever aspect, whether the patient is a paying patient or a non-paying patient, the quality of your work should not tarnish.
How was your first procedure to your patient as a licensed dentist?
Oh my god, the first ever procedure that I had, that was wisdom tooth extraction. It was a wisdom tooth extraction. I can never forget. It was a mesoangular case, almost towards horizontal, and I had to take it out on that very day because the patient was in pain so bad and you had no choice. It was my first time to handle once again the surgery right after the board exam. So I had that patient, I was just like, man, I had to do it. The other doctor who was working at that time, she was just there and she wanted to just try to stop me to do it because, of course, I was a young dentist at that time. But since even way before at school, I kept handling a lot of cases from endodontics to surgery. I was doing a lot because a lot of my friends have already told me, since you're in the clinic and a lot of people have been supervising you, it should be better that you work on those cases. So that was okay. I was able to take it out. The patient was okay, but it was definitely scary, I think. But it went okay.
So, when you are still a student, what or who is your inspiration to become a dentist?
Okay, it was my dad. I wanted so bad to my dad and mom, because I wanted to give them a good quality dentistry. They've experienced bad dentistry, so I wanted to give back.
Lastly, if you're not a dentist, what are you?
My gosh, I'm a film editor. Yeah, that's all.
That's all.
And,
What were your initial impressions as a first-year dental proper student?
difficult, that's the word, because a lot of my friends have been telling me that it's really difficult in terms of time and the workload. So I kind of prepared myself for that.
So now that you're a licensed practicing dentist, how do you feel about dentistry as a practicing dentist now?
Of course, a lot better when I was starting out. In terms of skill-wise, of course, over the years, there's we always get to improve our work. I guess at this point, I would say I provide a good quality dental.
In practice, in experience, there's nothing that can replace that. That's why you can feel more confident having done procedures and everything else as a practicing dentist. Second question, have you considered teaching dentistry?
At a university setting,
Since we have some professors who are dentists as well.
I have, but I haven't really considered that as a real thing, but I'm planning out to put up an institute for doctors, but not exactly to teach at a university setting.
Is there other career paths within dentistry would you like to pursue? In our class, we learned about military dentists, community dentists, hospital dentists. Do any of those subsects of dentistry interest you? Would you like to pursue that later, since you're as a
I'm
young dentist?
open to that. However, for now, I'm really enjoying the private practice.
That's good. What about your day-to-day work brings about the most satisfaction to you?
Turning bad dentistry into a good dentistry.
So patients that came to you, they've seen a dentist prior, several dentists prior, and you're the one to make it correct.
That's it.
Okay, wonderful. And do you feel that your dental school adequately prepared you for the board exams and as dentistry when you were a licensed dentist?
Yes and no, because the responsibility does not only fall on the school, but also on yourself. So although the school provides you the outline, of course, it's still the person's drive. Whether are you going to open your notebook? Are you going to open the book? Are you going to go to the library? Are you going to finish your requirements? So again, it's a yes and no.
And one last question. Do you feel that in dental school, do they teach you or do they prepare you enough to manage your own practice at all? Do you feel that that's adequately taught in dental school?
In terms of
Practice management, business skills?
So in terms of the dental work side, I guess it's a yes. But the practice management, I learned that when I was working in the States, I kind of saw like how they work on their own offices and how they make it possible to, you have to earn money and this and that. So they have their ways. So kind of.
Okay. Thank you very much.